following this race for a long time because it is so important, not just for Mississippi, but for the United States of America, for the generations to come in America. The eyes of America are on you and what will happen on June 3rd. And I tell you, it's wonderful to be in the Magnolia State, to just do whatever I can to hopefully help and not hurt the cause of positive change that is needed to be ushered in Washington, D.C. And by the way, Cambridge, you had me at the Magnolia. So precious. But Chris is running for the right reasons. I wouldn't be here today if I did not believe that. I know he's running for the right reasons. And yes, we vet these candidates that we want to support and see elected into office. Chris is running with a servant's heart, and that's what we need in the United States Senate. And Mississippi, we have promised some of the good guys in the Senate, like Ted Cruz, Mike Lee, we promised them reinforcements. Mississippi's effort in that is to send Chris McDaniel to the United States Senate in service to this great country, the most exceptional country on earth. He's the man to do it. Our eyes are on you. Our faith is in you. June 3rd, doing the right thing. And I'm proud to hand this over to the next United States Senator from the great state of Mississippi, Chris McDaniel.
First of all, let me just say what an honor it is to be here with you today. The other day, somebody said, Senator, they said, what do you call a politician who's been in Washington 42 years? I said, I don't know what. They said, you call him home. Your politicians are killing this country. We will impose term limit legislation once and for all. It is the place of strong, self-reliant, self-governing individuals to solve your own problems.
That's right.
Your church, from time to time, your community, from time to time, but not that government 1,000 miles away. And every time we have surrendered a bit of our liberty, that government grows, it expands, and it wants more. More of your money, more of your freedoms. And there's a price we pay for that. I became a Republican when I was 13 years old. Not because I knew anything about policy or philosophy or law, but I knew there was this man, this actor from California.
Wow.
And he would look directly at that TV, and it felt like he was speaking to me. My father called me into the room. He says, son, you've got to see this. And we watched Ronald Reagan. And he talked about things that intuitively made sense to me. He talked about liberty. He talked about limited government. He talked about constitutionalism. He talked about balanced budgets. He talked about traditional family values. But the real thing that caught my attention was when he talked about principle. He said our party was a party of bold colors, not pastels, a party of principle, not surrender, and that's when it dawned on me, I must be a Republican. And yet we stand here fighting what I consider to be the worst president in our country's history. In this environment, where our conservative values are being attacked, where our conservative beliefs are being attacked, where our Constitution is being degraded, silence is complicity.
That's right. That's
Conservatives
right.
look at me for a moment. Republicans look at me for a moment. Name one fight that Senator Thad Cochran has led against Barack Obama.
None.
For the most conservative state in the Republic to be led by silence, that is truly unfortunate.
Yes, it is.
Truly unfortunate. Senator Mike Lee, he stands and fights from Utah. Senator Rand Paul stands to fight from Kentucky. Senator Ted Cruz stands to fight from Texas. Even a governor from Alaska fights for us. When those brief men stood there on the floor of the Senate, Senator Cochran was not there with him. He voted to fund Obamacare,
Yes,
not
he
once
did.
but twice. Republicans, look at me for a second. Are we a party of bailouts or not?
No!
Because Senator Cochran voted to bail out Fannie Mae and Freddie Mac. He voted for the Cash for Clunkers program. Come on, conservatives, look at me for a second. Are we a party of taxation?
No!
Senator Cochran's voted for higher income taxes. He's voted for higher gas taxes. He's voted for higher internet taxes. Are we a party of debt?
Retire that now!
Voted 13 times in the last 10 years to raise your debt ceiling to the tune of $8 trillion.
Retiring!
Are we a party of the United Nations?
Retiring!
He's voted to increase the U.S. share of UN peacekeeping cost. He's voted for amnesty. He's voted against the border fence twice, but perhaps more alarmingly so, he voted for Chuck Hagel, and that was a line too far.
Cochran now!
That was a line too far. Now, the Republicans could have stopped the nomination of Chuck Hagel, couldn't they?
Yeah?
But the first Republican senator to cross that aisle once again and support the Democrats against our wishes was none other than Senator Thad Cochran from Mississippi.
Tell him, Chris!
It's the same Thad Cochran that supported John Kerry for Secretary of State,
Tell him, Chris!
and the same Thad Cochran that gave us Ruth Bader Ginsburg to the United States Supreme Court. It's time for a change in Washington, D.C. And there's no way to change the city until we change the people we send there to represent us.
Yeah!
And we have a vision. We have a vision for this country. It's called the Conservative Reform Agenda. It is the agenda that will restore not only our Constitution, but opportunity for all Mississippians. Mississippians suffer from an opportunity crisis. We feel stuck. We do not have the jobs that we deserve. We need stability. We need opportunity. We need productivity. So I am going to join with Mike Lee from Utah and Ted Cruz from Texas and Rand Hall from Kentucky to push an agenda. And the very first thing we're going to push, I want to be very, very clear about this, I am not going to Washington, D.C. to put a Band-Aid on Obamacare.
That's right!
It doesn't need to be tweaked, it needs to be killed once and for all.